What time approximately did you arrive at World Trade Center 7? I'm just trying to establish a timeline.
I received the call shortly after the first plane hit, which everyone thought was a Cessna. That's what I was told. A small Cessna lost its way and hit the plane. I got there. I had to be inside on the 23rd floor when the second plane hit.
Okay.
I was inside when the second plane hit. I was already in the World Trade Center 7.
Okay.
When the second plane.
You didn't hear that after the fact, or did you hear that when it happened? The second plane when it hit?
I couldn't tell you because I was inside and I was like closed off from everything. Keep in mind now, OEM, that big center, they had big, gigantic TV screens, and at that point, none of them were working. So I didn't know what was going on the outside.
So the building was essentially deserted when you and Mr. Hess, well, the command center was deserted when you and Mr. Hess got up there?
Yes.
Was that normal?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. The word we got was they had to take the mayor and evacuate.
So they said that the mayor was in World Trade Center 7 that day?
Yes.
He was there earlier in the day,
yes.
And then evacuated?
Yes.
Could you say that, because we're not mic'd, can you say that Giuliani was in the building?
I didn't actually see him, but that's what I was told. That's why Hess was there.
Okay.
He was there to meet with Giuliani.
Okay.
That's about all I've got going.
No, I know. I just feel like there's something I'm missing. What's your impression with Building 7 and your experience in working there? What kind of vibe did you get from that building? You know that there was the CIA there, obviously. There was the Department of Defense, the Secret Service was there. IRS was there.
Well, I'm just confused about one thing, and one thing only. Why World Trade Center 7 went down in the first place. I'm very confused about that. I know what I heard. I heard explosions. The explanation I got was it was the fuel oil tank. I'm an old boiler guy. If it was a fuel oil tank, it would have been one side of the building. When I got to that lobby, the lobby was totally destroyed. It looked like King Kong had came through it and stepped on it. And it was so destroyed I didn't know where I was. And it was so destroyed they had to take me out through a hole in the wall. A makeshift hole that I believe the fire department made to get me out. Me and Mr. Hess out.
I do have one more question. Did
Sure.
you ever talk to people from the 9/11 Commission, the Congressional Report, FBI, NIST, anybity? You did speak with them.
Yes.
Who did you speak with?
They called me down.
Which one?
They were doing. I think it was part of the 9/11 Commission.
So was it the hearings at the new school?
No. I can't tell you where it was because.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
But they called me down there, and they asked me the same questions that you guys are asking me, and at that point they said, "Okay, thank you." They sent me on my way.
And yeah, you told them pretty much everything you just told us.
Yes.
That you were in the building, got rocked by an explosion.
Yes.
All that.
Yes.
And you know that they didn't mention Building 7 once in the commission report.
I told them that's where I was.
No,
That's
I know,
where I was.
but you know that they didn't mention the building at all.
I didn't give it too much thought. I thought they were just doing an into report or an investigation on as to what happened. They got my point of view, and I haven't heard any more from them.
All right, excellent. So you don't feel that you've gotten a satisfactory explanation for what happened inside that building?
No.
Not at all?
The explanation that I got about a fuel oil tank. No.
No.
So I heard the explosions, and then the key thing was when the police officer came to me, he said we got reports of more explosions, so you have to run. Big talk.
And that's after both towers have fell, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, to your recollection, excuse me, to your recollection, did the explosion on the 6th floor happen before the first tower collapsed, or the second one, or before both of them? Because I remember you said earlier you were actually trapped when both of them came down.
I'm still in the building when both of them came down.
You're still in the building. Are you trapped on the 6th floor when the buildings came down?
Yes.
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 So it's safe to say that explosion on the 6th floor happened before either tower fell?
It definitely happened before either tower fell, and I'll tell you why.
Barry, I'm sorry. Can you just wait for that chopper?
Sure.
Because this is vital. Because the whole official story, the whole reason that Building 7 collapsed, allegedly, is because the North Tower fell onto it and caused damage. And what people are going to say is they're going to say, well, Barry was hit by debris from the North Tower.
No. What happened was when we made it back to the 8th floor, as I told you earlier,
Yes.
both buildings were still standing because I looked one way, looked the other way. Now there's nothing there. When I got to the 6th floor, before all this happened, when I got to the 6th floor, there was an explosion. That's what forced us back to the 8th floor.
Okay.
Both buildings were still standing. Keep in mind, I told you the fire department came and ran. They came twice. Why? Because building tower 1 fell, then tower 2 fell. And then when they came back with all concern now, like, to get me the hell out of there. And they did. And then we got out of there. I got in the building way before, a little before 9, a little after 9. I didn't get out of there until like 1.
Yeah, that's right. Because the news report with Michael Hess was approximately around 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Barry, is there anything else you want to say? I mean, is there anything you want to clear up?
Well, I like to say that, my mind is still there. That day I'll never forget. And the explanations that were given to me is totally unacceptable. Totally unacceptable. Because as I stated, I was there. I lived it. I lived through it. Actually, I thought I was going to die that day. Because me and Michael Hess did get on our knees and start praying when we saw that there was nobody coming, there was no hope. We did get on our knees and start praying. And then there was a fireman that shined the light and says, anybody in here? Those are the sweetest words I ever heard. Is there anybody in here? And I, at that time, I told Mike, I said, Mike, you better get under the desk and pray to who you're going to pray to, because I'm going to pray to who I'm going to pray to, because it doesn't look like we're going to make it. And that's when that fireman came and saved our lives.
Excellent. And you got out of the building around 1 o'clock, and that's when you pretty much crawled out on your knees, and that's when ABC 7 caught you, right?
Yes.
And there's really been no official follow-up with you, right? I mean, obviously the 9/11 Commission invited you to come testify, and that was it. I mean, you never heard anything back from them?
No. I mean, I got several calls from several news reporters, and News 12 did come out to my home and interview me as far as what took place, but that was it. That was it. And it wasn't until some years later that I testified in front of them. It was very, to tell you, it was very scary, because they looked like very important people.
Yeah.
They were questioning me about certain things, and I don't know if they liked the answers I gave. I could care less. I gave my account of it, the truth, and that was it.
When did you first start doubting? Well, did you have your doubts that day as to why? Well, did you even see Building 7 come down at all? But you were probably well gone by that.
No, I was long gone by then.
When did you first hear it collapsed?
And to my surprise, I was back in the office. Secretaries and things that were cleaning me up. I was disheveled. I even started crying because of the lives that were lost, and I was lucky enough to get out of there. When I got home, I sat down in front of the TV, and my wife said, "Why do you keep watching this? Why do you keep?" I couldn't stop watching it, and that's when I found out Building 7 came down. I was so surprised, and I'm saying to myself, "Why did that building come down?" And I knew why it came down, because of the explosions. And it was no fuel oil tanks.